All right, so this is what we was making. So basically we got an inner disc, we got 2 outer discs, and these holes are for rosette welds. So this is how this is going to be. This one will sit there, this one will sit on top, and this will press down in there. It's a pretty tight fit, we can hammer it in, but this will make this a sandwich. So the reason it's triple plated, way beefier than it needs to be. Probably could have been out 1/8 inch.
No.
And so basically that gives us a reservoir for our cable to set in there, and then we'll drill a hole in this for that eyelet to set down into, you know, to pop down. And basically we'll have a hole, let's say like here and here at, you know, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So basically we can run our cables like this and like this, and it'll pull this disc to shift this differential. Once we get this built, we'll show you. We're hoping this works. And then we're using these old go-kart, these are new stock go-kart cables I've had for years. I think they're brake cables actually. They're real thick. They have an eyelet on this side, or like a bolt hole, and then the eyelet that's going to go in this. So there's a lot of little pieces we got to make. So we're going to get this done first, tacked together, not like fully welded, and then we can start building the bracket on the buggy. We'll show you how we're going to make this shifter. So there's that disc. The reason we wanted to go with the disc is because we wanted to use a dual cable setup, and this is what this allowed us. So you can see one cable goes in down there, one goes in up there, and it kind of twists the disc as you pull it. Then we came off the old 4-wheel drive mount. That's what that shaft is for there. And I made this plate, made some housings that hold the body of the cable and don't let them pass all the way through. And we have the cables hooked up there. So we have 2 cables, the disc. Remember, this differential from a small engine warehouse has high, low, neutral, as well as reverse. So we needed a lot of movement in this disc. Then if we go up here, you can see I end up putting the shifter on the driver's side, the left-hand side. And you can see the shifter there. It had to be long. I measured out how much throw I wanted it to have, and it works out absolutely perfect. Like, it's super easy to shift. It's not super clunky. It's completely out of your way because it's hugged up against the wall. I really like it. And then we end up popping that cap off of a e-brake for a 150 go-kart, and it worked out perfect for a shift off. So everything's good to go with that. It worked great, and everything's super nice with it. So we're getting super close on flip side. We got a lot of stuff done, but we wanted to build new trailing arms because now with the new front end, we have a wider offset in the front than we do on the rear. I mean, we have plasma tables, we have band saws and everything we need to cut any part, but the only problem with a plasma table is you don't get perfect holes. You're having to grind and deburr stuff. It's a lot of extra work. It saves a ton of time in fabricating, but it also adds a lot of prep time to get the parts ready. So because of that, we teamed up with Sin Cut Sin. We put an order in and we got some trailing arms coming. So they do bending, they'll bend parts, they'll tap parts, they'll deburr them, they'll also clean them up. They're ready to weld right out of the box. So we put an order in about a week ago, and it's saying that it's going to be delivered any day, hopefully today. So let's hope it comes in and let's see what their quality looks like, because I'm super excited. Doorbell's going on. There it is. Oh, hey!
It says don't bend them, but should be okay. It's down too quick.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
See ya. That was quick. So let's open these bad boys up and see the quality of Sin Cut Sin. All right, let's see what's in. The IPS guy did a great job of handling this with care. It was already opening itself. You got some sour punch straws. So the first thing Chris asked was like, I wonder what kind of candy they got.
Do they always put some in?
Yes. Except for one where I did.
You've used Sin Cut Sin a lot, haven't you?
One time. But
he quit the IPS job. Ken. I saw his hustle, you know, when I played the video back, and I was like, we gotta hire this guy. The truck's still out there.
It's idling.
I just got it idling. All right, so this is what we got in this package. We have the trailing arm inside tubes. Those look sick. And then I ordered some spindles. These was going to be for Lonnie's buggy, but they're going to be for our next build instead because I didn't know how much time we had. So I do like how they vacuum seal everything on this like sticky board. It's super sick. Like this looks, you can order something directly from Sin and put it on a website and sell it. Like, I mean, people do it all the time because it comes just like this. It might say Sin on it, but. All right, so that's one. Those are some heavy duty. Those are gonna be some hogs of a trailing arm.
You can bend it.
This is the, so you're at the back of the buggy, I'm the front. So this is the driver's side. This welds on a little bit right here and is rounded towards the back, you understand? And then this plate lays on here and welds, and then we have these so we got these bushings. These are 2-inch DOM that has a polyurethane bushing and then has a 1/2-inch board. This is what we're going to use as our front pivot. It has something similar to this, not this beefy, but it has something similar. So basically this will notch in here and TIG weld. Then this plate will lay over top of this, and then this welds here. The only piece I didn't design was this piece. I didn't have enough time to do it where they would break it. Really wanted to, didn't. But I was like, okay, we can knock that out. Even if I have to do it in multiple plates, which I shouldn't have to. I could break that on them. And then these are some lock bar tabs. So this is the inside of the trailing arm. Like I said, this will TIG weld just like that. And that'll be the inside. So the sprocket will be here. This is for a 1/4-inch hollow chromoly go-kart axle. So it'll be like that. Look at the fitment. Real nice. So I actually paused on the trailing arms, and I'm glad I did before I went any further. So this is how far we got, and basically we was ready to TIG weld in these crossbars, and that's just going to make them so they're not just a big hollow piece of steel. Now I could have designed these in 100 different ways. I could have made them fully out of tubing, which would look sick, but I took the opportunity to partner with Sin to try out building some box stuff. I'm a tubing fan when it comes to A-arms and stuff, but we will try some boxed A-arms in the future. But I'm glad I stopped and didn't go any further because I made a little error in my measurement. Basically what I did was, because we're so rushed getting ready for the meetup, I just really quickly took a hub to hub measurement on the front end because we want the back end to match the front. And then I divided that in half. Then I went and did the math on the rear where they bolted up and came up with this shape. So the problem with that was I didn't account, I did, but I forgot to account for the 4 inches of the wheel hub. So these are actually 4 inches too wide. Of course, that's not a big issue because all I can do is take 4 inches off this side. That would be the easiest. So I'm gonna have to pull this plate off, this plate, move this in 4 inches, tack weld it in, cut this down, and then trim this to fit as well. So not a big deal. And of course I'll have to cut that slant. So I'm going to have to work on it a little bit, but this isn't that important right now because our width, we're a little skinnier in the rear than we are in the front on the buggy, but it's not a big issue. So we're going to finish these. I'm waiting on some broached 1 1/4 sleeves to make my wheel hubs, because I'm going to laser cut my flanges and make those to go on this 1 1/4 chromoly axle from EC Carburetor. So we couldn't even put these on if we wanted to because we don't have the wheel hubs yet. Once those broach pieces come in, we'll get these fully built, so that'll be done later. All right, so now we're going to skip over to showing you guys how we made the rear sprocket hubs for the differential from Small Engine Warehouse. So Dave has a lot larger lathe than me. I only got a 110 lathe and it works amazing, but you can only take off so much material on a pass, and my chuck is only so big. So he took the some CV axles from Polaris Razor and he did some machining. I sent a camera with him and he filmed everything, so you guys can check out how we adapted the differential from CVs to axle to sprockets, and so we could do the gear reduction, because that differential was so low geared from factory because it was meant for a stock V-twin, like a 21 horse V-twin. So we're of course going to make a lot more power, so we don't want it to be just low end happy like crazy. We wanted to actually get some gearing out of it. So enjoy the content of Dave machining up some parts.
Wow, it's very nice.
So we actually have the buggy outside right now, and you can see the parts that Dave built. So basically we put a axle hanger out here, and this supports and locks in the axle from moving out, because of course the CV axle has a little clip in there, but it doesn't take much to pull it out. So we made these to support it out here. Now we looked up, and look how, like, it looks like the brake disc would hit this if you squat it, but it just misses it. It's pretty crazy. But with our new trailing arms, of course, that we're making from the Sin Cut Sin parts, this will be all moved over a little bit, and we'll also have a higher stance, so we'll be completely away from this once we set it up. So yeah, we have the whole rear drive system done other than chain tensioners, and we only need chain tensioners on these chains because these have it built into this. And when we build the new Sin Cut Sin trailing arms, we'll have a manual chain adjustment on the trailing arm as well. So of course, this is after the meetup. So what had happened was we got the buggy, we actually drove it on the trailer and everything, but where we didn't have time to build the chain tensioners, literally the only thing we didn't have time for was those chain tensioners. We loaded it up just to take it and show it off. It wasn't ready to ride because of course the chain stretch, being new chain right off the bat, and our fuel pump was too much fuel pressure, even though we put the needle and seat for a fuel pump in that carburetor. So what was happening was it was overflowing the bowl, making it idle uncontrollably because it's flooding out the carb, and it was stalling up the rear end, making it clunk into gear. So the next episode, we're going to be driving this buggy. We're going to make the chain tensioners at the very first episode, and then we're going to take it out, rip it, tune in that fuel pump. We did buy an even lower pressure. We had a 4 to 6 psi on it, and now we have a 1 to 4 psi fuel pump. If we need to, we can do a returnless or a return fuel pressure regulator. We'll just have to see. But the next episode, we will be ripping the buggy, seeing what it feels like in low, high, how everything works, and then after that we can start tuning the suspension. So massive shout out to Sin Cut Sin for sponsoring today's video. You'll see another video where we finish those trailing arms, but we're going to ride it just like it is. Then we got some custom shocks coming for it from FOA, and that's when we need to really make the trailing arms to get our new FOA suspension put on it. So we haven't given up. I promised you guys I would not fabricate on anything unless it was this until it was done, and that's exactly what we've done, because all we've done since the meetup is dyno videos, mini bike, and engine builds. So I'm trying to keep my word. We're working on Lonnie's buggy until it's 100% finished and getting it powder coated and everything. So I hope you guys like it, and again, check out Sin Cut Sin. I'm telling you, it was way more affordable than I thought using Sin Cut Sin parts. Like, it'll surprise you if you don't have a plasma table, or you don't want to sit there and make these tedious parts with a grinder, and you have a way to draw up parts. I highly recommend checking them out. Links are in the video description. We love you guys, and we thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you on the next one where we're ripping this big block Briggs buggy for Lonnie. We love you, and God bless.